king, I am not a god, I am Humpday!
Yeah, Oberon in the mic. One smite, one shot, give the whole damn steel path road, let's go! Hello Tano! Finally, Oberon the GOAT received all the love he needs from the developers to become the ultimate GOAT in the mountain. Now, like and subscribe for more content as always. A lot of videos in the channel, go check them out. Now, remember, we take things to level cap as enemies scale on their HP to test our damage output. Also, they scale on their damage output to test our survivability. So, keep that in mind. And before I build my weapons and warframes, D.V.S is my method. D how I deal damage, V how I proc viral, S how I strip enemies armor. If you don't like it, check the sheet. It helps you maneuver around them to find your own style. Next thing you need to learn is the shield gate. In Warframe, not like any other game. When you receive a fatal blow, you lose your shield and you enter gate phase. Gate means you become invulnerable for certain duration based on how much shields you have. Now, when the gate phase finish, enemies have access to your HP and you can pretty much die. So you want to return your shield with certain mods or helmet abilities to survive. And no, this build is not shield recharging, Oberon like the previous Oberon we did for level cap with shield recharging. As I told you, I work on projects and every time I create a build, the next one will always be different. So one more thing you need to learn about shields, that if you lose all your shields, you will need 4 seconds to start regenerating shields, and if you lose part of your shield, you will need 1 second to start regenerating shield, and you will never be able to regenerate shields when you are taking damage. Get that? Now, of course, you can do abilities, whatever, but just standing still, taking damage, you will never be able to regenerate shield. Now that out of the way, let's go for his kit. Now, starting with the passive, and let me tell you what, Pablo outdone himself. Look at this. You pick HP, you become invulnerable. How amazing is that? And also your allies will benefit from that. It's really crazy. And it stacks up to 3 times. Lovely. Maybe in the future we can get a bit, maybe an augment for the passive, where we can get more stacks. Nobody will play Revenant anymore. Now, Smite, his first ability. You hit the enemy, you take off their overguard, you armor strip them, and you deal damage to their HP. Maximum, you take down 75% of their HP. It is crazy. And also, the enemies that near that target will receive some love as well. Now, got an augment called the Smite Infusion. Hold to cast will grant all allies within 15 meters an additional 100% radiation damage to their attacks for 40 seconds. Really good. Depends if you like to use it or not. It's a really nice augment. Decide whatever you want. Hollowed Ground. You create the flower place where you're gonna be proccing radiation to all enemies. Now, radiation is really good because it confuses enemy and they start attacking each other, so it's like some sort of CC. And we will combine this later on with a very nice arcane, and you will love that. Now, inflicting radiation damage to all enemies within the radius also grants protection against statue effect for Oberon and his allies. Statues, goodbye, baby. Easy as that. Got an augment called the Hallowed Eruption now. Augment reactivating to deal all the remaining damage and radiation. Statues, passive plus 200% Hollowed Ground duration. It's nice, not bad, but I couldn't find a spot for this one, so decide for yourself what you want. Renewal. Generate a protective aura that grants bonus armor to Oberon and his allies and restore allies' health over time. Healing is doubled while within the radius of Hallowed Ground. Let me tell you what. This ability could have been meta if DE decides someday to let the Warframes, or allow them, to scale in EHP. You see, enemies starts with certain health and shield and overguard, and the higher level they get, the higher their health, overguard, shield scales. But for us Warframes, we don't. And that's why armor sucks in Warframe, and also our HP and armor sucks because our HP and shields and overguard doesn't scale with enemies level as well. But the enemies level gives them more damage to their weapons. So enemies at level cap, even if you have 99% damage reduction, alright, with a lot of EHP, you will still 1-2 shots and you're out. So, you know, in order, this message may be for the E, in order to make use of for example, of armor and damage reduction in Warframes, and health regenerating and all that, DE need to change the way they approach Warframes, EHP, as enemies higher level, the higher HP, higher shield, higher overguard we get, and then we can talk about that. Otherwise, it got an augment called the Phoenix Renewal. Taking fatal damage while under the effect of renewal will instead heal you and or allies to 50% health. This effect triggers only once for each ally every 60 seconds. Now 60 seconds, you already died 100 times against level cap. So maybe low level enemies you can, but no. So renewal is what you want to replace for Helmeth ability, if you will. Now Reckoning. Now no, wait. I know, sometimes would say, oh no, renewal it helps you. Yes, low to mid game, yes, you can keep it. Now, Reckoning lifts enemies into the air and then hurls them down with conviction, removing their armor. It's really good, it's really powerful, low mid game, but in the end game, you're not gonna be like one-shotting them with this guy. But enemies hit by this ability will grant Oberon additional armor and have a chance to spawn a health orb. Boom, works with his passive. That's what we need. Now, armor is nice, but whatever, we don't care about that. But what it does, it also strips enemies' armor. But it's not like Smite, one target nearby. No, this one picks up those targets and strip them from armor and has a chance to drop that health orb. Look at that, 50%. Got an augment too. Hallowed Reckoning. Reckoning gains 40% range, a 3-meter radius around each affected enemy, grants bonus armor to allies, and deals 300 damage per second to enemies, which is okay. Maybe if you wanna play low to mid game again. Now, Defied Reckoning, health orbs become unusable by enemies for 10 seconds. We don't really care about that. Now, that's Oberon. What you want to do is simple. You keep Hallowed Ground active. You can active 3 grounds at the same time. Renewal to keep yourself with armor and health, but whatever, you're gonna be replacing it for Helmeth ability. Now, the 4th ability, you wanna pick them up, armor strip, and any enemies that would overguard, boom, smite, and they're out. And you want to pick up as much health as possible, so you get the passive active all the time, so you don't die. Righteous negation. Now, I've been playing with Oberon for a while now, trying this, changing that, putting that, but okay. So, previously, we did a shield recharging Oberon, and it did like a level cap, it's good, mamma mia. And, of course, in the future will be another builds, but now I decided to go in a different approach for Oberon, and this might surprise a lot of you. Let's go! Bravery Spike. Now you know already what shield gating is, right? On ability cast, the energy that you use, it will convert 150% of energy spent to shields while overshields are inactive. So every time you lose your shields, you use an ability, you get back your shields, you have now time to react. Simple. Now, Private Sure-Footed, I know. You'd say, oh, wait a second, I've been standing on hallowed ground all the time. Yes, I agree with you. But depends what game mode you're playing. For example, on Cascade, we move a lot from tile set to another tile set, and so we don't want to get knocked down while we are in the process of moving. Now, of course, this passive grants resources and allies, and you are vulnerable to all that kind of stuff. I agree, but at level cap, the stacks will be going off, and the time between you making kills to get health orbs and the stacks is out is really critical, and you don't want to get knocked down in there. I would say it like this way. Prime Sure-Foot, is it necessary? Absolutely not. I would say 40% yes, 60% no. So use whatever you want in there. For security reasons, I will just keep it in there. Now, Trance Fortitude. Ability Strength, negative ability duration, flow for energy max, Emergency for strength, Rolling Guard, for bad situation. I know. You'd say, oh, wait a second, we have this. Yes, yes, I agree with you. Yeah, it's not necessary, rolling guard. But there is situations you will need it. Okay? Nullifier. You got violence. Mania, you know, like there is situations where you want to come out of that fight, take a second, get yourself together. Rolling guard will play that role. Prime redirection for shield capacity, so I get that amazing 2.5 seconds of shield vulnerability. Of course, it's not necessary. And yes, you can use catalyzing shields for 1.3 seconds. There is no problem in there. Or you can replace it with whatever you want in here. That's totally up to you. I almost said put a ribbon. Almost. Stretch for range, Augur Reach for range and a bit more converting energy to shields, and Continuity obviously for duration. And look at this. Any Helminth ability you can imagine will work perfectly with this combination. 143 duration, 175% range, and 219% strength. Now when it comes to the Arcanes, Arcane Energize, the famous one, of course, gets you energy, blah blah blah. Now Arcane Universal Fallout. Now here is the trick here. Now, since the Reworked Oberon and the radiation is always boom, 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 boom guaranteed, each radiation status effect inflicted on enemies by abilities gives a 5% chance to drop a universal orb on enemy death. Mamma mia. Mamma mia. So as much as you're standing, proccing radiation and killing those enemies, you will never run out of energy, thanks to Arcane Energized, replenishing, and thanks to the health, you're gonna be surviving with the passive. It's like crazy. Now, you can, like, say, go for overkill and try hard and put equilibrium in there, and you, my god, you're gonna beat something else. Mamma mia, it's just crazy. Now, when it comes to Helminth ability, what we use, this time we're going for Wrathful Advance for 219% melee critical chance, which is absolute to our critical chance on our weapons, and I use this simple glaive build, cap, with melee exposure. Of course, you can use the influence if you want to, but it doesn't matter. You'll be, like, taking everything out anyway. So, when it comes to the Archon Shards, I'm running ability duration, strength, and shield capacity, and casting speed. Simple and easy. When it comes to my amp, I used 177, Rappelek Prism, Proper Scaffold, Surface Brace, and I use Eternal Enslaut and Return Dedicate Arcanes with Magus Lockdown and Magus Elevate, and whatever. So, doesn't matter. Now, when it comes to Nautilus Prime, this is the build I have for him. Cordon to pull enemies, Duplex for the clones, Assault to attack, Vacuum to pull the loot, Manifold for more cordon, and then you got Shield, Metal Fiber for armor, Vitality for health, Reinforced Bone for fire rate, and Tenacious Bone for critical damage. If your sentient weapon has 50% plus critical chance, that's why we get the best sentient weapon, which is the Virglass Prime, but it needs a Riven to get critical chance. Otherwise, you can just use the Primed Razor Rifle or the Volclock, and you'll be good for now until you get a Riven for your Virglass, or maybe you just don't mind and everything gonna be okay. And of course, the video cannot be without a Simulacrum. So we start first with Corrupted Heavy Gunners, boom, summoning 20 of them. Here we go, check this out. So all you want to do is get your Hallowed Ground active. As you can see, we're getting a lot of stacks, but look at this, boom, boom. They're all armor stripped and ready for you. Now, we're using the Wrathful Advance to get our critical chance, and then, I mean, they're just gone. They just don't know it yet. I mean, it's just really, really, really powerful stuff right here. You see the universe? Look at this. Look at this. Would you ever think that you would need energy or health ever? I mean, look at this. This is insane, man. This is insane. Like, really, really, really insane. Look. Boom. Boom. I mean, they're dead. Look. Look. Now, I'm not talking to you about bringing a Shadow for priming or Compressor to prime or anything. I'm just saying, like, go just glaive. Okay, so let's upgrade this a little bit. Let's summon Thrax Centurions. There you go. 20 Thraxes. Here we go. Alright, picking up Thraxes up and down. We can armor strip them, but we didn't actually pick them up because they have Overguard, but I mean, that's why Smite is here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Smiting all the way. Whoa, look at that. Like, Smite can kill level cap, baby. You don't even need to worry about that. Look at that. Look at that. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but you can do crazy things. You already can see that, right? Look at that. And then comes my amazing amp. And, yeah. things just die. So it is powerful. Now, when it comes to helmet ability, you can use Wrathful Advance if you want to go for melees. You can use Roar, which is good. You can use Eclipse, which is alright. You can use let's say Quiver to go invisible. Evade if you want to land headshots and become invisible. You can use, for example, Kume. You can use Jade Helminth. You can use Oraxia. You can use whatever you want. I mean, listen, go to the Helminth. Pick any helmet ability you want. It will work with this build. Whatever you like. Anything, my friend. Anything. And when I create builds, I make sure that not negative efficiency, because efficiency is really important in this game, especially if you are spammable stuff, and you don't want to just like go negative efficiency. So in the end, I want to say, don't forget to like, subscribe for more content. A lot of videos about the last update is here, so it's been update out for 1 day. Second day, we already done Oberon. Like, we done the Argon already, level cap, we did Noko, how to farm, everything. Go check the channel, you're gonna love it. Subscribe, follow me on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, join my Discord, link in the description. Special thanks to all members, special VIPs, and this video donator and all of donations, and all community members. And remember, Tano, this is not the last build. We're gonna do a lot of builds in the future. Stay tuned, and see you guys next time.